Hello, it's been a wonderful day here in Lisbon, Portugal. Had tremendous meetings with different pastors talking about spiritual formation, talking about planting new churches, talking about how we can better disciple people. So beautiful to see how God has so many special people in every country, in every place, and in every city. I heard so many great stories today. It was amazing. And then I had a wonderful dinner in the home of a Brazilian pastor and his wife and his two children, and was received into their home with such joy. And these are long-time friends. It's a very good day. But now it's time to read our devotional with Stanley Jones. The title of this devotional is God Digs Around Us. God Digs Around Us. And if you're following in the book, it's on page 46. The simplicity and the profound nature of the way this man describes spiritual growth is an amazing thing. It helps me to stay focused. God digs around us. When the owner planted a fig tree and came 3 years seeking fruit but found none, he said to the vine dresser, "Cut it down. Why should it take up space?" But the vine dresser replied, "Leave it for this year, sir, till I dig around it and put in manure. Then it may bear fruit next year. If not, you can have it cut down." Today we meditate upon I dig around it. If in our barrenness of soul we feel proddings of conscience and unhappiness and upsetness of spirit, then that means God is digging around us. His diggings are not just to give a dig as punishment, but they are constructive diggings to make us fruitful. Just as physical pain in nature is nature putting up a red flag and saying, there is something wrong here, attend to it. So spiritual pain is the same red flag going up. It is God saying there is danger and death here. Attend to it. God's prods are all redemptive, never just punitive. When Jesus turned and looked at Peter, whose hot words of denial were still warm upon his lips, he did not look at him to punish him. His look was redemptive. Peter felt this and went out and wept bitterly. Then after Jesus' resurrection, he asked Peter 3 times, "Lovest you me more than these?" Peter had haughtily said that though all of the others would deny him, he would never do it. Now Jesus asked him 3 times, "Do you love me more than these?" It was a dig. 3 times Peter had denied him, and now 3 times he compelled himself to say he loved him. Not more than these, but he did love him. It was a redemptive prod to correct his self-righteousness. Once again, Jesus used the 3 times. The sheet was let down 3 times as Peter was upon the housetop praying in Acts chapter 10, verse 16. Peter was racially arrogant in regards to the Gentiles. This letting down the sheet 3 times was God's attempt to broaden his soul to take in the Gentiles. It was a gentle reminder, again, of his 3 times denial. The prod was a prod into the kingdom. Father, I know that you love me because you dig around me. Keep on. I'd rather be dug than dead. Amen. Affirmation for the day. God will not need to give me digs. Suggestions will do. That would be the hope, that we'd be so open to God that suggestions would do. There's a principle in the spiritual life, and it's called coming to the light. Coming to the light. Jesus in John chapter 3 said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." But he goes on to say that I did not come to judge. I came to save. And he uses an expression. He says, "And here is the condemnation, that men love darkness more than they love light. And they will not come to the light to see that their deeds are evil." We do not often know that our deeds are evil. We do not often perceive that we are hurting other people or stopping or interrupting the flow of love toward other people. We don't perceive this until God, as he puts it here in the devotional, digs around us. But another way to look at this is discipleship and spiritual growth is a coming into the light. And this coming into the light is a process whereby it is revealed to us. Perhaps it's one of my ideas is I don't know that we could handle all the light all at once about ourselves. And I don't know that we could handle all the light about God all at once. So very gently, to use the metaphor that he does, he digs around us so that we can begin to perceive what we need to perceive. And so we come to the light. We come to the light. I was talking to the pastor in his home tonight, and we were talking about all the controversies that are going on all across the world that are so similar from one country to the other, all the crazy political issues and all of the issues about human behavior and all the things that are going on. And we both agreed that for the church, we need to be the people who are willing to come into the light. As hard as it is to be shown the truth about ourselves, we must continue to allow God to reveal himself clearly to us so that we can see ourselves clearly and continue on this journey of spiritual growth. Because at the end of the day, spiritual growth is growth in love, growth for love, growth for the perfecting of love. It is the goal. The goal is that we would be able to deliver the love of God as it comes from him through us, and we give it away freely to other people. But we must come into the light. Voluntarily come into the light to see if your deeds are evil. Evil is anything that impedes the flow of love. It's anything that allows me to look at another person and give myself permission to say, I don't need to love them. They don't deserve it. That's evil because I didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve it. We don't deserve it. But here we are, being loved by the light of Christ, being loved to the point of being called sons and daughters of God. So keep coming into the light. Hey, have a great day with Jesus.